Hello everyone and welcome back to another test. I wanted to see how well Cybersecurity Home Office from Acronis is gonna do in our anti-malware test. I'm decided to put it up against Windows 11 Defender, as it's been a while since I've tested Defender. Now with Acronis, there's not really that much that you can change, but let's look at the protection settings. So it obviously active protection is ransomware, illicit crypto mining, malicious files and websites. So under settings we have anti-ransomware protection. Let me just move this to the left. So Acronis has anti-ransomware protection that's enabled. It's to automatically recover the files, protect files, and also network shares, which we don't really use, but that is enabled. Crypto mining is enabled, real-time protection is enabled. On access to quarantine, detect malicious behavior. This is experimental, but let's see how well that works. Website filtering is enabled. It's to block and notify. There are no exclusions. Antivirus scan. No scheduled scans. It's to quarantine and to scan all of these parameters. Vulnerability assessment and under advanced. There's no detected issues, I think. Yep, nothing there. Automatic updates, protection exclusions. There's nothing. I want to see if my script will be able to run as normal. If it does give me issues, I'll just exclude it during the test, but I don't think it will. Okay. Okay, so that's under activity. These are just additional because Acronis is a backup and an antivirus and all in one. So this is what's quite nice about Acronis. It is more just an anti-malware. You have all these additional tools that you can use under account, settings, and that is about it. So this is the latest build. Now with Windows Defender, we'll look at the settings. Okay, so we've got full protection here. Tamper protection, controlled folder access is enabled. There is no exclusions, except for the my partition. Wanted to block that, so that's the only exclusion. We'll go down to account protection. Firewall is enabled. Reputation based is enabled. Exploit is set to default. Didn't change anything yet. Core isolation is enabled, and that's about it. So let's quickly get this protection disabled and get this test started. Okay, now that we have all the malware extracted, we have 2,775 samples on each side, and all the samples includes zip files, PowerShells, Office documents, application files, VB scripts, Java scripts, and all of that. Okay, let's just make sure that these products are up to date. Okay. Yes, all the programs are up to date. As you guys can see, Windows updates are done as well. Updates there. So let's start to activate the protection. Okay. It. Okay, so let's resume the protection. Okay, so Defender should be good to go now. So you guys can see everything is still the same. Okay, so our protection is enabled for Acronis. Security Center is happy. Okay, so now for the first test. You guys will see machines are clean before we start. Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so Smart Screen has blocked this one, that's good. Let's see what Acronis is going to do. Okay, so malicious website, that's good. Okay, so let's quickly go through Acronis. Malicious content is blocked. Okay, so that's nice. I think this one will be blocked as well because the background is blue. Just think it's maybe a bit slow. Okay, so it seems good results from Acronis. And let's have a look at Defender. Okay, Defender slipped this one. Okay, seems like all the files were blocked. Let's see if there's anything in downloads. Okay, so we have a file that's interrupted, and here we've got no downloads, but I would say it's most probably a tie. When it comes to the malicious websites, Acronis did better for me because Defender allowed that one website to open, but for malicious downloads, this one was started, but then obviously then blocked. So I would say it's really good results from them both. Acronis actually did really well, so I'm quite surprised by that. But you can make your own conclusion, but I would say they tied. Okay, now for the main event, malware execution. Okay, so protection added to quarantine, so that's good. Acronis giving us pop-ups, Defender is giving us pop-ups. So this is quite interesting to see. Let's see if anything is running yet. Okay, so Defender already has 2 malware running in the processes. So far Acronis has none, and they all start at the same number. So it seems like Acronis is off to a better start than Defender. So that's quite interesting to see. Okay, so I'm gonna attend to this, guys. Quite a lot of malware to execute and check what is open, and then I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, so the malware execution is finally completed. I am trying to open up Process Explorer on the Windows machine, but it is giving me access denied. So I'll just have to look in Task Manager. For Acronis, there were a couple of malware where it couldn't deal with them, failed to quarantine them, so that's fine. We'll just exit all of these files quickly. Okay, so we'll just see what is still running on this machine. So we have these 2 or 3 files still left. Okay, that's about that. Look at Task Manager. Okay, startup entries. Seems we have this one, and then a SSL from Sophos apparently. That's that. Then obviously a couple of stuff that install. With Defender, we obviously got high CPU usage. And then, as you guys can see, we do have quite a couple of malware still here, but let's just close these ones. Okay, so this is what's left. So we do have a couple of things there. Startup items. We have 1, 2, 3 startup items. ESET online scanner. I'm not sure. Then we've got that one. Yeah, so we've got a lot more startup items. Sure. We actually got quite a lot of startup items here from Windows Defender, so not looking too good at this point. A couple of programs that did install. Okay, so now I'm just gonna restart these 2 machines so I can update them and then start the full scans. Okie dokie, and we're back everyone. Apologies for the delay. Windows Defender seems to be a party pooper. It's been giving me a lot of issues with the scans. It will scan, and then when I get back to my desk, the scan is just closed. I have to rescan it. But I did manage to do a offline scan. But as you can see, even the quick scan is just stuck, and the VM is also really slow. Compared to Acronis, I can open up stuff, but it is stuck on this. So I'm going to stop the scans for Defender. Acronis did quarantine 1,930 samples. So the full scan is completed on this one. Gonna restart this machine, Defender. I'm gonna restart it again. It's still got a lot of threads here that it needs to deal with, but even if you say start actions, it's not really doing anything. It will just do that for end on end. So I'm just gonna cancel it, and then I'm gonna start the third party begin scans. Okay guys, and we are finally back. Sorry I had to wait for these scans to finish. That took quite some time to scan. Now to look at the results. Let's have a look see at the results. Okay, so now for Heatpan Pro. Seems like we have a library file in program data, then obviously our app data roaming, and then these 2 programs that installed, but it had some issue with internet connection. Defender. We have app data local roaming. This is just malware that I forgot to delete in this folder. Had a couple of issues with the test where the script stopped, so the malware that I already executed I moved to this folder. So this is just malware. And then we have this one here under company program file. So this is a program that installed. No malware in the cookie. Okay, cool. So the majority of the problems are still the malware that's on the desktop. Close that. With Norton, we obviously have app data roaming, this exe, then program files, the wscan, and also up under update the local, couple of issues there. With Defender it's a little bit more, update the local, temporary files, roaming, there's another exe, that same wscan. Don't know why it's complaining about the Kaspersky exe file. And then public library, so we've got a couple of issues there. Let's exit that. And as you guys can see, this VM is a little bit slower than what it's supposed to be. Okay, well, okay, that's done. For the Komodo quick scan, found no issues. I didn't do a full scan this time. So quick scan also, no issues. ESET found a couple of problems here, only 8 problems on this side, so the 16 problems is remote utilities, program files. So obviously ESET I scanned last because ESET removes malware while it's scanning, so during all the tests I always scan ESET last. Okay, so we've got a couple of update the local temp files, obviously the WinZip files that extracted, or the WinRAR files that extracted here, update the logging. So that's a Trojan, couple of Trojans, so we've got a couple of issues there. Only 8 problems for Defender according to ESET, and looks like only one of them is a WinRAR file that extracted, the rest is just malware on the desktop, so that's kind of interesting. Kaspersky did not want to extract on the Windows Defender machine, so no issues there with the quick scan for Kaspersky. Okay, now with the MSISoft. Okay, on Acronis we obviously have these update the local files, a couple of exe, so these are all from the zip files. Yeah, so all of them are from the zip files, so a couple of exe still on the machine. Close this. Now let's just arrange this. Company program files. Let's just see which one this is. Sorry, this machine is really slow. Okay, it's not really showing, guys. Sorry, this machine is just really slow. So then obviously we've got still malware on the desktop, so that seems to be the majority of the problems, I would say. Yeah. Okay, I'll close that. Close this one. And that. And yeah. So only 3 problems according to Malwarebytes, program data, the spyware of them, program data. And then on the update the roaming, we have this Trojan injector. Okay, for Defender it's a bit different. We've got that same program again that installed. Update as well, update. I think a lot of this might be the malware on the desktop, but we do have a lot of malware in update the roaming, it seems. And on the program data, so yeah, malware on the desktop. Okay, malware on the desktop. Desktop. Okay, and then we have 3 registry keys and netware. That's an host ID, and that's also remote. Okay, cool. So got a couple of issues here for Defender. Close that. Okay, so now let's look at what is still running. Okay, let's see. Okay, nothing is of yet suspicious on the eye, and according to virus total rating. Okay, doesn't seem like there's anything running now at this stage. Let's have a look at Defender. Okay, so we've got Screen Connect, so that's obviously one of the remote access software that was installed during the test so that someone can have access to this machine in the background. Okay, so that can still be used to connect to this machine. No, not that. Okay, so then we obviously have a couple of shortcuts on the desktop of all the programs that are installed. So let's quickly see if we can see them. Okay, so Apple Bonjour, that's obviously new. Damware menu remote control, or Dameware, so that's new. Remote utilities, Sophos VPN, so someone can also misuse Sophos and then create a VPN to this machine. Ultravirus killer, and then these two. Same with this one. New product. Let's see what that website is for interest. And then Sophos again, and then that one. See if that page is going to open up. w.company.com, that looks super legit. I'm not actually sure if this is actually legitimate. When I click on About Us, it's only that's happening. Okay, so I'll just close that. Startup items, so we got still high CPU usage here. Let's just see what is using CPU. Could be Defender still trying to remove malware or maybe doing a scan. Startup items. Okay, we have this startup item. It is still present. Update roaming. And then we obviously still have Sophos VPN. Okay, Defender is a bit of a different story. We've got a .NET. And then this, yeah, so that's part of the malware that was discovered in the libraries folder. That one is still there. That one broken. Okay, so the 3 program one seems to be broken. Updater seems to be broken. This one's still. Okay, same again. Yeah, let's just make sure we have no damage to our files. Yeah, the files are still good. We have this additional folder here. There seems to be stuff in there. Okay, and our pictures are untouched. Okay, so I think this is the end of this test, guys. Let's quickly recap. Not bad results from Acronis. It actually did better than I thought it would. I didn't actually think that Acronis will actually do this well, because when I started the test I didn't have any high expectations. I just thought I'll take the results as is, but not bad results. Definitely did better than Defender for me. Also did better in the web test, as Defender missed that one page where on Acronis it did not. So not bad results by Acronis, but we obviously do have a couple of issues on the machine, especially the remote tools, which is a concern, because obviously someone can always be connected to the machine. You don't even know about it, especially with the VPN. They can always just have background access to your machine and copy files and go crazy. So that is a bit of a concern, but otherwise not bad results from Acronis. Defender also not too bad, but also not a clean slate for Defender. It still did well in the web test. Obviously it missed that one page, and the real-time protection wasn't bad at all, but obviously we do have persistent threats on Defender. And the issues that I had with Defender is obviously the scans had issues to complete. I only managed to do a full offline scan, and then one quick scan, but the full scan kept on failing. So maybe Defender would have been able to remove some of the other threads. but it kept failing. So between these two, Acronis did better. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this test. I thought it was quite interesting. So not bad results by Acronis. I'll definitely test it again. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks again for all the new subscribers and people that's loyal and watching our videos. I do really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.